So when him wiping out the Ginyu Force and basically the Zarbon and Dodoria, he'd fly right towards Frieza and punch him in the face, which would knock Frieza back as they start to clash, going as Goku and the Saiyans finally arrive. But the Ginyu Force somehow survived that attack. Now they're way back up, and they got themselves heals from a pod. Then they rush at the Saiyans. It's an intense match between Recoome and Nappa, but Recoome would eventually kill Nappa. Vegeta, Nappa actually treating Nappa as a friend, would actually get pretty mad and punch Recoome's head off. Then would obliterate his body with a double Sunday. And Vegeta is shocked because he's never seen Raditz actually blow someone's head off. Usually Raditz just incinerates them. He didn't expect Raditz to get actually mad at Nappa's death. But he realized that Raditz did treat Nappa as a friend, even if Nappa didn't. Raditz would come in and starts clashing with Ginyu, but does get defeated in the end, with Vegeta going straight after Guldo and Jace. As then he repels them back with one shot, blasting them all back. But then they sense a bigger power level coming, and then they sense another one rising right next to it, and that's Christian and Frieza. When Frieza transformed, Christian also raised his strength to match it. As he goes, Gohan would go get his potential unlocked, since Gohan's power level is 50,000. As he'd go and get his power level unlocked, and that would bring him right up to 200,000. Vegeta and the Saiyans, after defeating the Ginyu Force, would go get their power unlocked. Goku's power level is 90,000. So when he gets it, his is up to 530,000. Then we have Vegeta, who gets it up to 600,000. Nappa, who's dead. Raditz at a power level of 150,000. And yeah. Christian says, as Christian's clashing even more, he does a cheap trick and punches Frieza right in the spot where it punches Frieza in some part in his gut, which makes Frieza knocked out as he flies over to Guru to get his potential unlocked. So then his power level is at a maximum of 1 million. Then he goes to his final form, and then when Christian comes back, they really start to clash. As then he keeps on charging up power, going and puts ki in his fist as he does a super god fist and punches Frieza right in the face, which launches him back. Then Frieza goes for a strike on him as he says Kai Kai, and appears right behind him, flicking him, which launches him. And Frieza's like, "Why you?" As all the Saiyans come. Christian teleports right behind thing. Raditz did stuff to redeem himself. Just saying, I just wanted to point this out. And Nappa also did stuff, but Nappa isn't. So Raditz would probably go to heaven if he died. But Nappa is going to hell, since, he didn't do anything good. He's still going to Hell. Vegeta, who's tried to redeem himself, doesn't. He probably still would. As Raditz would fly in, going double Sunday as he'd shoot it, and it would just reflect off Frieza, and Frieza would just shoot a humongous death beam, which would incinerate Raditz's body. And with Christian's anger from this, he turns straight into a Super Saiyan. Then he starts to pummel Frieza, going. Then Goku arrives. Christian's full power it's still not matching Frieza. As he going, and punches Frieza in the face, but Frieza, as Goku just arrives, obliterates him with a death beam. Even the Super Saiyan wasn't strong enough, but it was just Christian's power level that wasn't good enough. So Goku's power level's on the level of about he's on the power level of 2 million in his base form. So Goku rushes at him, punching Frieza in the face, but it doesn't do anything. But then he sees Christian's dead body and turns into a real Super Saiyan. So 50 times 2 million is 100 million, I think. But I'm gonna say he's at 150 million because that's his power level. Because remember, Super Saiyan is a 50 times multiplier, or it might be 100 times multiplier. As he grabs Frieza by the neck and obliterates him with just a shot. Vegeta would come at him, and then they start to tag team him, going. And then Vegeta actually turns into a Super Saiyan out of anger of saying that he will be the one to avenge the Saiyans. As he breaks Frieza's jaw, and Goku finishes him off with a Breaker Energy Wave, which obliterates Frieza in this timeline because Goku has no mercy. He didn't just kill Krillin. Frieza did kill Krillin, which also caused him to go Super Saiyan because he just saw all these dead bodies. Gohan didn't die though. And with Christian's final breath, he tells them not to revive him because he does not want to be revived. And Goku listens to his request, and then they head back to Earth. They do blah 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 blah, and they all tell him that Christian is not going to be revived, but they will revive Raditz. As they did revive Raditz, Nappa can't be revived. Christian heads straight to the afterlife, and goes straight to heaven to go find the Saiyans. Which the only two Saiyans he finds are Bardock and Guinea. And he says, hi. And they say, hi, who are you? Christian says, I'm a Saiyan. And I'm Christian. He says, wait, are you alive? He says, judging by the halo, I'm not alive. I just died actually by Frieza. He goes, wait, you're a survivor? He goes, technically. He says, come on, I'll take you to let's train for a while. We have all infinity, don't we? He goes, I guess. As they go, he says Raditz is here for a couple of minutes. As they finally all get some training, but Raditz finally goes back since Raditz was revived. And Guinea asks why they can't be revived, and Christian says that the Dragon Balls cannot revive someone that's been dead for over 10 years. And Goku hit his head as a child, so he doesn't remember you. And Guinea and Bardock, once they hear that, are kind of saddened, but they realize that they have to get over it because Goku will never know them. As they train for the entire afterlife, with Christian getting Bardock up to Super Saiyan inside the afterlife because Christian's already mastered Super Saiyan. Let's do a 7-year time skip. Gohan is in school after the Buu arc, and Beerus would arrive. Christian has already mastered past Super Saiyan 3. He is now in the territory of Super Saiyan God. He's in the level, but it's just a Super Saiyan 2. Beerus tells Whis to tell him where the Super Saiyan God is. This Super Saiyan God doesn't exist. Whis says that it doesn't exist, but it can be made. He says, tell me where the strongest Saiyans are. Whis shows him the first Saiyan, which is Goku. Then he shows him Raditz and Vegeta and the two Half Saiyans and Gohan. And he says, then we have the final one. He says, wait, there's another one? He goes, yes, but he's dead. But don't worry, Lord Beerus. I think he's already on your level, just in his Super Saiyan form. As he shows him going, he goes, now that's what I'm talking about, as Beerus feels the energy even from the afterlife. Then they look for more Saiyans. Christian says we should go to hell quickly. As he kaikais them right to hell, and he finds 2 Saiyans that would fit. He grabs Nappa. And look, I don't know who else I could pick. He picks up 3 more Saiyans who are actually pure and nice. And then he tells them about the God ritual and how they can all get Super Saiyan God, but we have to have enough energy, and he needs it and they all do the God ritual on him, which makes him get Super Saiyan God. He goes, and this is all in the afterlife. Then they give it to Bardock, but everyone else is exhausted, so they can't do it. And he says that they can do it if they can convince Saiyans to try and forgive themselves for their actions, to get themselves forgive for their actions, so then they can get this awesome power. But eventually they never do it. It's just Christian and Bardock with the Super Saiyan God power, as now they can clash throughout the universe. Then a couple of years later actually, like 1 year later, they find out how to combine it with a blue transformation, and they call this transformation Super Saiyan Blue, which Bardock for some reason can't unlock because he's just not that good with key control. Christian thinks to himself saying, I guess you can't learn it. Now I'd love to be a part of another Dragon Ball arc, but you know, that's not gonna work. So a couple of years late, like one more year later, Christian has unlocked a new level of strength. I'm not gonna say it, even though you probably already know it. As he unlocks Rose, he gets a brand new outfit. I'm gonna say it's like a pretty cool one. He's pretty skinny, but he is high to strength. Bardock has unlocked Super Saiyan God, and he's mastered it. He can now use it at will. Even without the training of the gods, they still got it. So let's just go into the Tournament of Power. They're looking for members, and they don't want to get, Android 17. Okay, look, they need 3 members. They need 3 more members since Majin Buu dropped out. No, actually, they only need 2. Android 17 doesn't participate in this one. We have Goku, Vegeta, Krillin, 18, Master Roshi, Tien Shinhan, Frieza, and then we just need 2 more. So Goku thinks to himself, I got it! We'll take 2 of the strongest people from the afterlife and take them straight here. And they ask Shenron to bring the strongest the strongest people in the afterlife. They just need 2. They teleport 2 Saiyans. As they arrive, going, poof. Christian says, what are we doing here? I'm kidding. They don't teleport them here. He says, and he tells them to go to Fortune Teller Baba's place, and he asks them to only bring them there for a day. So he flies to Baba's place, and she brings out the 2 Saiyans. Bardock instantly looks and says, Kakarot? He says, how do you know my Saiyan name? He goes, it's me, your father, Bardock. Christian says, hi, Goku. He says, this is Bardock, your father. I've been in the afterlife. Actually, we've been training for like 15 years in the afterlife. And we've got non-stop training. And in his head, and he whispers, I've been also having some secret training with Beerus. Because Beerus did come to the afterlife to fight Christian, but Christian didn't really do a lot to him. Okay, Christian doesn't know him. He unlocked all this power on his own along with Bardock. Okay, I think I counted less. Raditz gonna be there, and they still need 2 members. I don't think no, actually I did. So these are the final 2 members, and he says, alright, let's go. As Goku's about to do instant transmission, Christian before Goku can say it, he says, Kai Kai. As they instantly Kai Kai, as they 3 of them teleport. Christian sees Shin saying, Shin? He goes, wait a minute. And Shin asks what happened to him, and Christian said that he died to Frieza, but he's way stronger now. You have not even seen what he can do. Christian says, I can sense your power levels, Goku and Vegeta. Goku and Vegeta say, Vegeta is the only one who actually realizes and says he can sense God Ki. He says, alright, let's perform the ritual. As they all perform it, and then they teleport to the Tournament of Power Ring. Toppo says that he's seen Goku and Vegeta, but he hasn't in that Gohan kid. Also, he's seen basically all of Universe 7 was at that quick 3-on-3 tournament because they wanted to watch. And he says he knows all of Toppo says that he knows all of them. And for Universe 6, as Christian is flying, as he goes, woohoo! Goku says, no fair, how do you get to fly? He says, because I've been trained by Kais. I know how to fly. In other sorts of way without using energy. I could just levitate. But then he falls to the ground saying, I think the Grand Priest took away my ability to fly. He goes, well, that's just mean. As Hit says, I've only seen 2 of them. I haven't seen the 2 of them in the front. I've seen the rest of them. He says, as he sees tails and says, they're probably Saiyans. As when he says start, Christian instantly just summons a block of Kachentai and just yeets it, knocking out 2 people. He goes, well, that was fun. Bardock says, since when could you do that? He says, remember, I've trained with Kais. I know magic. As he just keeps on yeeting Kachentai everywhere, knocking everyone out with Kachentai, going as he keeps on yeeting Kachentai everywhere, which keeps on hitting people. He goes, eat Kachentai! As he creates a giant piece and crushes it on people, which actually damaged them. Then Caulifla and Kale, who, well actually, after that the arena is destroyed and Goku gets UA Omen. Christian's just like, I've knocked out tons of people with just Kachentai. As Christian watched the Genki Dama saying, that's pretty cool. But after Goku's defeated, Christian says, I want to fight that guy. As he jumps over saying, hiya, can we fight? He goes, sure, but you're not that stronger than that Saiyan, I can tell you that much. Christian says, really? I have a base form fight, going, Goku says, they're actually fighting in their base forms? As Christian knees Jiren in the stomach as he goes, then Christian punches him in the face, which knocks him back. Then he front flip spin kicks Jiren right into a rock. As Jiren goes to punch him, Christian jumps, dodges left right, going, and easily, as Jiren's trying to hit him, but he keeps on dodging, saying, nice try, as he punches Jiren right in the face, blasting him back. He goes, Ugh! He powers up right into Super Saiyan, and they start to go at it, going, Ooh, I hate when this happens, I hate when this happens, I hate when this happens, I hurt my foot. Oh, this hurts so much. Alright, whatever. Back to this. With this, he'd jump in the air, punching Jiren in the face, but Jiren wouldn't be phased as he goes into more of his power and punches Christian back. He flies back, but says, just kidding, I just summons a block of Kachentai, but Jiren cracks with just a punch and destroys it. He goes, he's strong. As he gets punched in the stomach and then barraged, going, so Christian's already behind him, using his cloning technique. Using his after image technique. As he looks behind him, Christian punches Jiren, knocking him forward. And whatever the Universal 11 dude is, says, what? No one's ever been do that to Jiren. Maybe Margarita, but not no one else. Christian says, you're boring, as he just flies away. Jiren shoots a ki blast at him, and he shoots his own, which stops his, which they clash. And Christian was as big as the Genki Dama and much more powerful. As he goes, Now let's go into Bardock's point of view. Bardock would be fighting Kale and Caulifla as he's absolutely bodying them. Then he goes straight into Super Saiyan God and really cranks up the heat. Which he instantly punches Caulifla in the face, which knocks her back, then kicks Kale into a wall. Into a, brick. Into a rock. Then he charges up a riot javelin and throws it at him, going, Hurrah! And it hits Caulifla, which knocks her out of the ring almost. But then she flies back in, going, Then he jumps up in the air and punches Caulifla in the face again, which doesn't knock her out. This time she catches it, going as he pushes him back. Then she says, come on, Kale, as they do fusion, ha. And Bardock has to fight a full power fusion, much stronger than in canon since of how much more energy they have. And they one-shot Bardock, which knocks him almost out of the ring. And it's basically him out of the ring, actually. As Christian just playing around with Jiren, going, But then Jiren starts to crank it up to 50%. And then he's no longer suppressed. Christian says, "Oh God," as Jiren and him are fully clashing this time, and he's losing ground. Then he goes into Super Saiyan 3, going, "Ah!" As now they really start to clash. As Jiren's never had a stronger opponent, and this is one of the weak forms that Goku guy did. As he goes straight into God, and then really cranks it up as he jabs Jiren in the stomach with his elbow, going, Jiren goes, "Ugh," as Christian knocks him back. But then he sees Bardock getting absolutely obliterated by Kefla. So he thinks to himself, saying, "I'll deal with you later." As he flies away, and Jiren sits down because as he's almost done. Christian turns into blue, going, "Ah!" as he punches Kefla so hard that he almost knocks her out of the ring. Remember, he got that nice Gogeta blue hair. As he knocks her out of the ring almost. Then he flies, going, "Ah!" and lands a punch in the gut, but then she starts to power up into Super Saiyan 2. Then he's screwed, because he can't do anything. And if he goes into Omen, he can't go into UI Omen, or UI at all. So then he says, "Oh yeah!" He says, "This is Super Saiyan Rose Christian Black," and turns right into Super Saiyan Rose and morphs a Keyblade. Everyone is shocked at that form because they've never seen it except for Goku and Vegeta, who've seen that form. So he goes, "Ah!" as he goes full power. Then he rushes Kefla and punches her in the face, then starts to barrage, going, "Super Black Rose Kamehameha!" and shoots it, and this obliterates Kefla, knocking her out of the ring with just a shot. As he's in Rose now, and he's mad. As he gets his Keyblade and wipes a lot of people out of the ring, going, "Ah!" Goku says, "That form's insane!" And Vegeta says, "That's way stronger than Black's." Goku says, "I know, right? That's so powerful." But then Jiren cranks it into full power. As Christian thinks to himself, should he do it? As he activates Ultra Instinct Sign. Then he goes, "Beerus says he can do that at will?" Christian says, "You don't know how hard I put the gravity on." In a room where it's infinite void. As he goes, "Ah!" and punches Jiren right in the stomach. Then they start to clash as Christian just uses one Kamehameha, which almost knocks Jiren off the ring, and that's it for now.